Hi, this is Joe again with another review. And for the sake of this video, I'm doing the. I know my last video I said I was going to do more Oscar films, but I decided to do this. I decided to do this particular film, which is the 1990 film Presumed Innocent. The reason I'm doing this one instead of other Oscar movies is that I recently just saw this. This movie just recently aired over the weekend, and I looked on my videos to see if I had done it, and I realized I didn't do it, so I'm going to do this now. Um, and of course, it's the movie Presumed Innocent, starring Harrison Ford, Bonnie Bedelia, Brian Dennehy, Raul Julia, and also stars Bradley Whitford before a few years before he did The West Wing, and also John Spencer, who also ironically did the same show, The West Wing. And of course, he also did a movie they previously reviewed called See It Low with Al Pacino. Anyway, Presumed Innocent is of course is based on the famous novel by Scott Turow, which stars Harrison Ford as Rusty, playing the main character Rusty Sandbridge, who is a DA. Wasn't mentioned in the movie which town or city or the state they're in, but he plays a DA who gets accused of killing a female colleague who he had a passionate affair with, and of course Raul Julia plays his defense lawyer, and Brian Dennehy plays his boss or the head DA of the town they're in. Of course, this movie, of course, is one of the few good courtroom dramas that came out during the 90s, because there wasn't really a whole lot. Uh, Except the movie previously did, which was A Time to Kill. Other than that one, I can't think of too many movies that were a great courtroom drama in the 90s. A lot of them were comedies, like My Cousin Vinny, which I also previously reviewed. Uh, Presumed Innocent is, of course, uh, is a real slow and deliberate movie. It was directed by Alan Paluca, who directed all the other famous movie he did before that one. This one, excuse me, was All the President's Men. So it's almost the same or a similar type of pacing. But All the President's Men had a slower pacing than this movie did. Um, but this movie does have some flashbacks as to the affair between Harrison Ford and the murder victim. I forgot the name of the actress who played the part, but the character's name was Carolyn Palamas, and there is a real sexy scene in here that they do show a little nudity of. That'd be one of the more passionate love scenes I've ever seen Harrison Ford do in a movie. Most of the time, it's just kissing somebody, and then just before the sex act, that's when the scene is usually and cut. And the scene just before they do the deed. This one is just even more passion than any scenes that Harrison Ford did in Working Girl. It also had a love scene in it as well. Anyway, I digress. After when she is murdered, Carolyn Palamas' character was murdered, and it's like pretty early on, because Harrison Ford gets called into Brian Dennehy's office and he tells her, hey, she was been killed. Not only was she killed, but she was also raped. It made it look like there was also a murder rape scene. And of course, the thing is that of course, during the trial, it looks like the Harrison Ford is more and more guilty as the movie and story goes on, because the evidence all points to Harrison Ford and the same blood type. Not only that, but the semen that was found on her matched Harrison Ford's blood type and all this stuff. So it looks like it's more and more guilty. But the thing is that when they found the semen on it, they checked out in the lab and said it was sterile, which of course it can be the case because he has a son with his wife, played by Bonnie Bedelia. So how can he be sterile and conceive a son with his wife? I mean, there's a little. That's one evidence that or one piece of evidence that can be easily be thrown out. Uh, but judge allowed it, and the judge was played by. I should mention the judge was played by Paul Winfield. Uh, I think this might have been one of his last movie roles. I'm not 100% sure on. Uh, but anyway, he found out, hey, how can we still over here conceive a kid? So while Julia played Sandy Stein, says, well, that's when we cross the bridge we get to it, it could pull that out based on that. But just kept it in, and he could be burned on cross. So of course, technically the wife was played again by played by Brian Bedelia. She was assisting and testifying, and he says, "Oh no, it's not necessary." I got and Harrison Ford says, "No, I can go on the stage and on the stand and testify." And she said, "No, you're gonna be ripped to pieces by the DA, and it could make you more sympathetic." But just before the defense was ready to rule or destroy their defense, the judge threw the case out. The reason why the judge threw the case out was mainly because the lab did a royal screw-up job on the forensic testing and on the autopsy. Because what they screwed up on was that the victim had her tubes tied. The reason why this is important is because of the fact that they had a diaphragm. She was found wearing a diaphragm, which is a female contraception device. In case those of you who don't know what it is. So, if she had a tubes tied, why should she have used contraceptive device for? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Just as they felt that when Julia felt, this character felt that it was planted to frame the client. So to place his body fluids, inside the victim, and so if the medical examiner did his due diligence and found out, hey, she had tubes tied, and it made no sense for anybody who had tubes tied to use contraception or to use a diaphragm, unless you're going to protect yourself from AIDS or something. That'll be that'll be the only way. Of course, this was in the early days of the AIDS crisis, so they didn't put in the AIDS thing in there, or play up the AIDS angle, or at least in the movie version. I don't know about the book. I never read the book, but they could have played up that angle. But hey, she could use it to protect herself from AIDS, uh, so she wouldn't get the AIDS virus. But I don't know why they didn't bring that angle up in the film. But anyway, so it doesn't make sense for a woman who had tubes tied to use a contraceptive device. The only way that's put in there is because we felt that the DA, Tommy Molto, who hated the Harrison Ford character, to set him up for the murder. Because he believed that Harrison Ford had an affair with the victim, and so to set him up, he put this device in her. And of course, actually, the DA, he went, Tommy Molto character, he went nuts. And of course, the case was thrown out because of that. And also, not only that, but because there was a missing file in the case, and an extortion case. An extortion was that the judge in the case, Paul Winfield character, was taking bribes. And so Julia's character held that over his judge's head because he doesn't want that. He also didn't want to have that information leaked out in the trial, saying they took bribes. So that was another reason why he threw the case out based on those two things. One, because of the evidence, and two, he didn't want that word to be leaking out. So he got dismissed. So he got relieved. Harrison Ford actually got relieved that he is out. Not only out, but he's also out of a job because his boss, played by Brian Dennehy, uh, lost his re-election bid for the DA to keep his DA job. So he was Harrison Ford was working around the house, and his wife, played by Bonnie Bedelia, who was at that time she was smoking hot of the Die Hard movies, and of course she's more famous now for being Macaulay Culkin's aunt. You know how I feel with Macaulay Culkin. Anyway, in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the film, she admits to Harrison Ford that she was the one who killed uh, Callan. And the reason why is because she found out that they were having an affair. And this was established pretty early on in the film that she knew that they were having an affair, and that Harrison Ford was still obsessed over her and still upset, he was so upset that she was killed, this type of thing. And of course, she was willing to say that when she was on the stand. But she never got that chance because the judge, like I said earlier, the judge threw out the case. And she told him how she set him up. And of course, the look on Harrison Ford's face, he gets like a stupid face, and you see a tear coming down his face, and you can't believe that my own wife framed me for murder. And of course, what happened, of course, that she never was charged with murder. And of course, so many years, almost but like 20 years later, Scott Turow did make a sequel to Presumed Innocent called Innocent, which I actually read the book, and I believe there was a TNT movie that was made of it with oh shoot, the guy who played the president in Independence Day um, played the Harrison Ford role as Rusty Savage, and this time his wife, and he's given away in the sequel to Presumed Innocent, called Innocent, his wife dies. And this time, Rusty once again is on trial for murder, but this time killing his wife. And of course, all the stuff, and of course, it never came out that his wife was actually the one who killed Carolyn Palamas in the first book, but it found out that she actually committed suicide, and it was found that she committed suicide. Uh, no spoiler. Uh, because so she was in the first book, annoying like like I said before, I never read Presumed Innocent, but in the movie it was established that she was suffering from depression, and so of course the pressure with the pressure with him having an affair, and of course he found out that Rusty had another affair with another girl, and in the sequel book novel, the girl that he had an affair with, another affair with, eventually becomes the girlfriend of their son. So of course, when the mother finds out about all this crazy stuff, she ends up deciding to killing herself and frame, the husband for killing her. And so naturally, once again, the one trial, and of course, he gets her off, and uh, it was because it was determined in the trial that she committed suicide. So of course, she got off, or he got off. So I know I went to the sequel a little bit. It was supposed to be just main the sequel, the original film, but I went to the sequel a little bit as well. So that's my review of Presumed Innocent. Please click on the video, please rate it. Feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel up above. And please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. And you can also catch all my videos not only on my YouTube channel, but also at rallyc.com. It's OWDY and then C.com. That's the homepage of the Rally Reviewer. Check out all his TV trash videos, as well as the other content on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.